I've had a comment from Graham Sampson on my video of a Chet Atkins arrangement of Levy on Rose. It's about how to do the right hand thumb picking technique. So I'll just do a couple of bars from this and then I'll explain what's going on. So first of all, I've got a plastic thumb pick, which I started using years ago when I started doing this sort of fingerstyle technique, mainly because Chet Atkins used one. I'm not sure if Merle did. Tommy Emmanuel uses one. I think they're great because they're very precise. They're a lot smaller than a big fat finger that I've got. First thing we have to do is palm mute. So we need to put the palm gently against the string, the low strings, on the bridge, top of the bridge. I don't know if you can see this. I haven't got all the technical stuff to do these videos, so like that. And we're just concentrating on the A, D, E, D sequence. So, and this is supposed to emulate a bass, like a string bass, or even a bass guitar. So you want it not too loud, you want it nice and soft and mellow sounding. You don't want it legato or anything, you just want it nice little sound there. So we hit down strokes on the A, so we're palm muting, then we hit the A string, and of course the thumb just doesn't do the bass notes, it also does the chordal bit. So we're also, when we hit, so in the key of A, we're doing it in this shape on the 5th fret, and the bass part would be the A string, 7th fret D string, which is an A note, low E string, and then again the 7th fret D string. So we've got, and you can also hit this a kind of a chord note above that. That's a C sharp on the 6th fret on the G. So we can actually hit the D and the G at the same time. A, those two, then the E, low E, and then the D and the G again. And we're sort of palm muting more or less 4 strings. Your palm, that's easy to do, your palm goes right across those. So we're doing 2 things at once. We're getting the bass and we're getting the chordal accompaniment with that C sharp note in there. The other thing to remember is when we hit that, these fingers are very quickly coming up just slightly to dampen these the D and the G. So we're going as if the string suddenly got really hot, and you have to lift your 2 fingers up and then put them down again, and almost as soon as you hit the strings, lift them up a little bit, not off the string, just a little bit, so the strings are off the fretboard. So we're doing 2 things at once. We're doing the bass and we're doing the the mid-range bits as well. Because if we play it straight, if we don't do any palm muting or that, it sounds like this, which is there's too much going on, and you don't really want to hear the bass notes after the initial striking of the strings. And also it'll be too loud to hear the melody. It would be, sounds alright, but it's not as good as. So, and that's all there is to it. You've got palm muting the strings there, and you've got those fingers quickly coming up to stop the notes you don't need to do that if you don't. I mean, if you, as long as you're palm muting, you can sort of. It's probably better though. Yeah, it's definitely better to do it that way because it's nice and punchy. Of course, we don't want to mute the melody notes. We want those. They've got to be louder than everything else, so we don't want to mute those. And also, you can't put your palm across right all those 6 strings anyway. It's got to be just the low ones, which is sort of a natural thing that the palm does anyway. Is this bit of the hand is kind of raised above the treble strings, which is fine. And that's all there is to it. So palm mute. You want to hear the note, but you want to hear it like quite muffled and punchy. To sound like a bass instrument, string bass or something like that. So I hope that's been of some help, Graham, and anyone else who interested in the fingerstyle technique. You want to listen to any stuff from Chet Atkins from the 50s, especially the 50s or the 60s, or any Tommy Emmanuel does it everywhere. Merle, any of those guys. Okay, so hope that's been of some help.